Hello out there, beautiful viewers. Welcome to the Complete Football Pod. My name is Mike. I hope you're doing well. If you're new to this channel, please do like, share, and subscribe. For those who've subscribed already, I really appreciate. Thank you so much for your support. Today, I'm going to be talking about transfers update. I know you're enjoying the Euros right now. I'm enjoying it too. We've seen teams performing below expectations. Likewise, we've seen teams performing, uh, above expectation. But I'm not here to talk about the Euros today. It's going to be on another episode. But right now, I want to talk about transfer update. Yeah, we have a lot going on right now, especially in the Premier League. Chelsea, Aston Villa, they're doing some business. Also, I think Man United also doing some business. So let's quickly assess whatever business they're doing right now. I want to give you an update about some transfers, what is likely to happen in few days to come, and the possibilities of some players coming in for Chelsea, for Man United, also for Aston Villa. Without taking much of your time, let's dive in. I will be talking about Chelsea first of all. Now, Chelsea has some players they actually trying to sign right now. Let's talk about Michael Olise. Yeah, Michael Olise has been a player Chelsea has been interested in even from last season. Chelsea almost got him last season, but Crystal Palace gave him a new contract, to tie him down. Now, Chelsea could not get him last season. Now, Chelsea is going for him again this season. And Crystal Palace is trying to do what they did for him last season by giving him a new contract. So Crystal Palace is on the verge of giving Michael Olise another contract as we speak right now. So, the Chelsea feels confidence about signing Michael Olise. And another problem is Crystal Palace is giving Michael Olise the permission to talk to, I think, Newcastle and to talk to Bayern Munich. But Chelsea, I think at the moment, Chelsea are the front runner. They're confident they're gonna sign him, and they want to make sure. Chelsea believe. I think that the Chelsea has been doing the transfer in this way lately. They make sure they talk to the player. They make sure the player agrees everything, all the terms and conditions, salaries, add-ons and all that. They want to make sure the player is good before they go to the club, because I think they believe if the player is okay with the proposal, going to the club will not be a problem. So Chelsea is trying to make sure Michael Olise is okay with the terms and condition of the contract, and once he's okay with it, they would go to Crystal Palace. And sources say Chelsea are willing to pay the release clause for Michael Olise just to land him. And Michael Olise, we all know what a good player, what a fantastic player he is. Last season, every season, but last season he really showed a glimpse of how good he can be. I'm not surprised clubs like Bayern Munich wants him, and even Newcastle. I think it would make all those teams better. Even if he eventually comes to Chelsea, it would make Chelsea a better team. And I think Michael Olise, if Chelsea ends up signing Michael Olise, I think it's gonna affect some players in the likes of Raheem Sterling, even though they don't directly play the same position. But Chelsea would want to offload some of their, fringe players, especially some they can easily make some money off, because Chelsea, let's be sincere, Chelsea needs to sell some players before the 30th of June just to balance off their book so that they don't fall short of the financial fair play rule. So Chelsea Chelsea right now they're about to sell some players, and we can see Chelsea's the likes of Ian Madsen is up for sale. Likes of Conor Gallagher, we don't know what his future would be. Personally, I think selling Conor Gallagher would be a big mistake for Chelsea, but Chelsea needs money. Trevor Chalobah is right there. So Kepa Arrizabalaga, Romelu Lukaku, all those players are there. Chelsea has to cash out on them. So back to Michael Olise. Michael Olise coming to Chelsea would probably affect some players like Raheem Sterling, like I've said, and also Noni Madueke. Noni Madueke also might leave Chelsea, depending on what Enzo Maresca, the new Chelsea coach, wants to do. He might keep both of them, because we know Michael Olise plays at the same position Noni Madueke plays. So And though Michael Olise is kind of versatile, he could drop in into the number 10 role. He could play as a striker sometimes. He's that good. So that is about Michael Olise. Now, another name on the table on the list for Chelsea is John Duran. John Duran is is a player from Aston Villa. He's an Aston Villa player. We all know. If for those that don't know John Duran, the last game of the season, the just concluded season against Liverpool, when Liverpool played Aston Villa, the last game, I think, he was the player that he was a player that spoiled everything for Liverpool at the end of the day. He scored, I think he came in and he scored like 2 goals. He's a good striker. He's young. I think Chelsea bringing him John Duran is just to put pressure on Nicolas Jackson, just to make a kind of competition among Jackson and John Duran, because we've seen Jackson last season how indisciplined he can be and how wasteful he can be. So another striker coming in would put pressure on Jackson. And Chelsea's tried to get Sesko, the Slovenian guy, but he signed. He extended his contract with I think RB Leipzig. Yeah, he extended his contract, so he's not leaving. So Chelsea had to look elsewhere. Now Chelsea are looking at 2 strikers. In first of all, John Duran. The second player is Samuel Omorodion. Samuel Omorodion is a player. Is a player for Atletico Madrid. He was bought. Atletico Madrid bought him, and when Atletico Madrid bought him, they quickly loaned him to Deportivo Alaves last season. He's a very, very good striker also. He's from a Nigerian descent. I think he has Nigerian parents, but he was born in Spain. So this guy is also a very good guy. He's a very good striker. So those are the 2 players Chelsea are looking at right now to sign as a competition for Nicolas Jackson. Chelsea needs to sign one of those players. They already agreed terms with John Duran. John Duran wants to come to Chelsea. He's just waiting for Chelsea to give the green light. Everything is already personal terms and all the thing necessary, all the agreements already in place. But he wants to go to Chelsea. There are other teams interested in him, but he wants to hear from Chelsea first, because I think Chelsea is his first priority. So he wants to hear from Chelsea first. So also, Chelsea is looking at Samuel Omorodion to see if he would also be an option. But Atletico Madrid is playing the hard game. I don't think they want to sell him. And if they want to sell him, they would let him go. I mean, because of him being a promising player, promising striker, they want some money for him. So Chelsea, in the next few days, will be making some moves to decide who will be coming in, who will be going out. And also for the selling side of Chelsea, I think Chelsea is on the verge of selling a 37.5 million deal for Ian Maatsen. Aston Villa is going to sign Ian Maatsen. They really need a player. I think the reason why Aston Villa wants to sign Ian Maatsen is because they know probably very soon they will be letting go of Douglas Luiz. Now, Douglas Luiz is a player that is a very, very good player. He wants to go to Juventus. Thiago Motta, the new Juventus coach, likes him. So now there's a swap deal that's about to happen by Aston Villa and Juventus. Now, Douglas Luiz will be going to Juventus. Then Juventus will be paying, I think, £20 million and 2 players. The 2 players were supposed to be Samuel Ealing Jr. and I think this American player, Weston McKennie. So now, Weston McKennie is the one holding up the deal, because Weston McKennie is not okay with the compensation from Juventus. He's selling compensation from Juventus. So he's not okay with the deal. That's why the deal is being on hold. If not, it will have gone through. So now, reports suggest that Aston Villa is tired of waiting for Weston McKennie. So now, the price, instead of 20, I think it's going to be like 25 or 30 now. Now it's going to be 30 plus 2 players. Now, the 2 players will still be Samuel Ealing Jr., but it's going to be another player instead of uh, Weston McKennie. It's going to be Enzo Banashi. Enzo Banashi is an Argentine player. He's a promising young player too. So it's going to be Ealing Jr. and Enzo Baraneschi. Yeah, Baraneschi, if I pronounce it well. It's going to be those two players. So those are the players now that would be going, because McKennie is not okay with the transfer. He's having a problem with Juve, and Aston Villa cannot wait any longer. So they need to make their signing. So now it's going to be, if Aston Villa secures these players, now they would already be getting Ian Maatsen and also these two Juventus players. So that is that for Aston Villa. Now Manchester United. I don't understand. I don't think Manchester United have that money to sign players. It's kind of weird to say, but I think the way they're going about the business, you can tell something is wrong, something is shaky. Especially in my last episode, where the coaches they interviewed, Thomas Tuchel, Thomas Frank, and some other coaches, I think Roberto De-zerbi or someone, they could not get the job. The reason why was because Man United was trying to underpay them. Those coaches felt they were being underpaid. And the second reason was because Man United does not have a clear picture on how the transfer is going to go. And we've seen Sir Jim Ratcliffe come out and say Man United will need like 3 summer transfer windows to make sure things are going to be a little bit balanced. So I don't think these coaches are okay with it. That was why they did not take the Man United job. Man United had no option than to let Ten Hag continue. That's the only reason why I think Ten Hag still has that job. My opinion, actually. But when you think about it, see the way everything is playing out, you will know that is the only reason why. Because if Man United never wanted a new coach, why would they get some coaches? Why would they interview coaches? We don't see Real Madrid interviewing coaches because they know Ancelotti is going to be their next coach. Ancelotti will be their coach for next season. We don't see Manchester City conducting interviews for coaches because they know Pep Guardiola will still be their coach for next season. So the only reason Man United had to talk to coaches was because they were looking for an option. If they were able to find that option, Ten Hag will not have that job right now. So back to Man United Man United transfer saga. So now I think that's the problem why those coaches were not okay with Man United. They did not take the job. So Man United, we've seen them looking at some players lately. We've heard rumors about Jared Braithwaite of Everton, which, in my opinion, very good player, very good center back. Is a ball-playing center back. He's comfortable with his feet. It's like John Stones, and it would give Man United a lot of options when Man United has been hit with injury. He could play as a left wing back. He could play as a center back. He is a very good player in my opinion. So that is an option for Man United. We don't know what the transfer about the transfer with Jared Braithwaite. We don't know how far where it stopped, or if Man United is still gonna pursue that the player. Also, there's another player Man United is trying to get. I think Josh Zirkzee. Yeah, Josh Zirkzee is a player of Bologna in the Italian Serie A. He plays for Bologna. He's a very, very good player. I've seen him play. He's very, very energetic. He's a very, very good, skillful striker. So I think Man United is also trying to bring him in to, bring some competition into the team for Rasmus Højlund. Because when Rasmus Højlund, that would keep him on his toes. So, and also maybe for injury purposes, because Man United was hit with a lot of injury last season. But that's Man United every season. They will be linked to all the players, but they would probably not sign any at the end of the day. Another player, Man United, and this is very interesting. Man United is looking at is a midfield player. Alvarez, the Alvarez that plays for West Ham. He is a very, very integral part of that West Ham team. He's the Mexican national team captain. Alvarez, very solid defensive midfield player. He's very good. In case Casemiro leaves, they're looking, to get him as, to replace Casemiro. So, and this guy is not new to Ten Hag, because West Ham bought him from Ajax. He played under Eric Ten Hag a lot. So Man United getting him in if Casemiro leaves should be good, because he already knows how Ten Hag wants to play. But we can't say that about Ten Hag anymore, because most of the players he bought by himself, they're not really, fitting into that team. They're not synchronizing. They can't. They find it very hard to sink into that team, into the system of that team. So that is like a question mark. Like, you bought all those players and you say they're not good enough. They played under you when you were in Ajax, but now they're Man United, they're not playing well. But this transfer, I'm not saying it's gonna happen, because it's gonna be very hard for Man United to sign this guy, because Everton will demand a lot of money. If they want to part ways with Alvarez, they will demand a lot of money, because he's a very, very important player for West Ham. It was like when they wanted to sell Declan Rice, Arsenal had to cough out a lot of money for Declan Rice. So that is the transfer. That is, so far, those are the players Man United are linked to. I hope it's not going to be like every other season, where Man United is linked with like 10, 15 players, and they end up buying maybe one or two, because that team needs a lot of new legs, to make Ten Hag, if Ten Hag wants to compete for next season. So that is that for Man United. There's another person I want to talk about, Roberto De-zerbi. Now, if everything works out fine, which I think it should, Roberto De-zerbi should be the Olympique Marseille coach for next season, which is a kind of strange to me, because this is a very, very good coach, very, very good coach. If before now, if someone had told me last season that Roberto De-zerbi would end up being the coach for Olympique Marseille, I would not believe it. With all due respect to Olympique Marseille, a team, a very big team in the Ligue 1, the French league, and they have in Europe, they have their pedigree. They play in the European tournament almost all the time, and they've produced a lot of good players. I think Zinedine Zidane played there, Dimitri Payet, I think Aubameyang is there right now, and they have a lot of good players. So now, if everything goes on fine, he would be Olympique Marseille coach for next season. I would not have expected this to happen. I would have expected he would be one of the elite team coach. Like, I was thinking he would get the Bayern job, he didn't get it. I was thinking he would get the Man United job, he didn't get it. I was thinking he would get the Liverpool job, he did not. Even the Chelsea job, he did not get it. So I'm starting to think what the problem is. Does he want Does he want to keep a low profile by going to Olympique Marseille? The Olympique Marseille would compete with De-zerbi. And for him to have gone to Olympique Marseille, I think he really wanted that club. Because the way I see De-zerbi, he's a coach that really is kind of organized. He knows what he wants to do. So he likes to get the people and the players in place that could, carry out his agenda on how he wants to play. So if he chose Olympique Marseille at the end of the day, I think he would be successful as an Olympique Marseille coach. And next season is going to be very interesting. And I hope to ball. I was expecting him to just hold out. There would be Man City might come for him next season. Liverpool might come. We don't know what Arne Slot will do in Liverpool. Even Maresca or Man United, if it doesn't go well with Ten Hag, they might get him at the end of the day. But I don't know. I don't know what he wants in a team that would make him choose a team to coach a team. I don't know what he wants. He understands best, and he understands well. That was why, at the end of the day, out of all the clubs I think Roberto De-zerbi would choose, he chose Marseille. Good luck to him. And that will not change my perspective about him has been the has been one of the one of the best coaches. Also, he's a very very good coach. So having said all that, this is gonna be the end of this podcast. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for staying with me. Talk to you again next time about the Euros, and bye for now.